Oh shit, forgot to put the intro. But hey, hello, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. And yes, I forgot to put the intro into the little intro slot right now because being so rushed right now with so much shit in life. But still glad to be here. I am glad to have you all here, and glad to have Enzo here as well. Probably going to be a short stream, but sometimes you just need an easier one. So
This
right
is
now
not an
tonight.
easy movie. I could talk about this movie
Oh,
for a
yeah,
long
no,
time.
it is bonkers. So yeah. Speaking of which, tonight's movie on Bestars Breakdowns, Millennium Actress, directed by Shatoshi Kon, the same guy who did Perfect Blue and Paprika and Tokyo Godfathers.
Yeah,
And
this is
yes,
his second movie, which is crazy because like Perfect Blue was like he came out with Perfect Blue first, and everyone was blown away by it. And then he did like the exact opposite with this second movie. And I think honestly, you should watch this movie last if you're gonna watch all of his movies because it's super personal movie, and it is very like especially knowing that he's dead now and how he died, and
yeah,
this
especially with the ending. If and
this
the
movie's
yes,
very like almost prophetic, and like I don't know. This movie's the exact opposite of Perfect Blue
I know
because
because Perfect Blue was like very psychologically dark and very
yeah,
creepy, and it was like the
the
dark side of fame. While
celebrities, yeah.
yeah,
Where this one's like the nostalgic, happy side of being an
yeah, I
actress,
know.
being famous.
Even though she's kind of gone through this little tragedy of never being able to find this guy she fell in love with, she still sort of had this little positivity that brought her back to that time when she really felt alive and human as well. Which probably I'm spoiling the ending a little bit, but I kind of
Well,
like the
yeah,
fact that it makes no sense though. You're kind of wondering, okay, are these people getting drawn into her flashbacks? That's sort of mixing with her real life as well, but I don't
yeah.
really care. I just enjoyed the ride, to be honest,
Well,
because I
yeah,
was
like
having so much
she,
fun with it.
we're being told her life story by these interviewers. She's this reclusive film
Mm.
actress who retired early, like 30 years ago, and then just disappeared. And one of these interviewers is like a huge fan of hers. Yeah, she explains her life, but most of her life story is told through like not her actual experiences, but just the movies she was in, and they're all like metaphors for what she was actually doing in her real life.
I know, and we probably are going to jump ahead a little bit, even with the slides, but they seem to have a bit of a cycle as well, don't they? They seem to repeat themselves. Like she gets trapped somewhere, but she has to get out and find this guy. Then the interviewer, who was a big fan of her, who also worked with her when he was very young, is kind of being the hero in these in the movies that I've seen as well, because he's probably envisioned himself being that guy protecting her when he watched them as a kid.
Yeah.
So who knows? And you've got the cameraman who's with her and
The
who's with
camera
them
guy
both.
represents the audience. He's just
Yeah,
kind of
he
like,
is. He
what's
is. He's
going
like
on
he's
here?
like he's like, who's this old biddy? Why do you care so much? And then he gets involved and is like, ah, fucking. I really wish I was working somewhere else right now. This was not how I expected my day to go, and it
Yeah.
does add some levity as well because
Well,
she
yeah,
does
this is
go
the
through.
only Satoshi Kon movie that's rated PG. It's like technically it's a family friendly film, but it's very mature, with the themes and the big stuff going on. I don't know if kids would actually like this movie. And in fact, this is a movie you probably like more the older you get. You know, this would be like a good movie to watch, like in your final dying years. Because it's all about it's about a few things. Mostly, it's about chasing the dream, whatever that dream is. It's the pursuit of the dream, and not
Yeah,
necessarily attaining the dream.
it's almost like working towards the goal is what gives life more
Yeah,
meaning.
yes, it
I
makes you
know.
young. It gives your life purpose. Once you attain the goal, like what's her name? Her actress rival.
Yeah,
Sh-
I'll call her the rival. I'll call her the
yeah,
rival because she's almost like
Kiko
a
or something is her name, but she is she's been there, done that, and that's why she becomes like an old bitter woman, and
I know because she's almost like who Chipoko. If am I pronouncing the name right? Chiyoko.
Chiyoko.
Chiyoko, yeah, could be as well, because she becomes like the young hot thing, and once
So
again,
yeah, this is one
yeah,
of those movies where like the very beginning like tells you everything because like first of all she tells you. I mean you kind of aware she's going to die because like she says she basically is saying like The whole point of the movie in these first couple lines, I'm going to find him. I'm going to be back. Also, what's interesting, I was reading about what's it, the symbolism of like the lotus flower and the crane in this movie.
Yeah,
There's
I
so
was
many.
wondering the significance of that because that's got to mean something. Shit, I should have put us surrounded by lotus flowers instead
Well,
of
also
beside
like at the very
us.
beginning, you see this like it's like a sci-fi, like a moon with like a outside
Mm.
Earth with like this big lotus flower base like opening up, and
Oh
the
yeah,
rocket
yeah,
ship comes
yeah.
out of the lotus flower. But the lotus flower, yeah, it represents like they say in the movie, they say that it represents what did they say in the movie? There's a few things it represents, but one of the big ones is it represents longevity and also what's the word I'm looking for? Endurance or perseverance,
Probably
because like
yeah. I think they're
lotus
both the
flowers
same way.
grow in the middle of the boggy swamps and stuff, and but apparently also the crane, the red crested head crane that you see a lot in this movie. Apparently, like the two cranes next to lotus flowers is like a universal Eastern symbol for a happy long life, So yeah, you realize you see lotus flowers. There's lotus flowers and cranes like all over this movie. But yeah, I mean, basically, this guy's watching like one of her old sci-fi movies or editing it
Yeah,
or
and I love
something.
how the earthquakes just sort of like
The earthquake happens
like
yeah,
both
right as
he's
the
related as well, didn't he? And this is where you kind of meet the guy because he's reciting the lines are all over, and I don't kind of like how he rewinds it as well because we are already going back to the beginning to where it starts with all these movies that reflects her life as well. Because I was wondering, okay, is the part of these movies her sort of a part of her life driving her in these movies in a way that becomes accidentally related. But oh god, look at that animation! Jesus
well,
Christ, these
that's the other thing is not only is this movie about chasing the dream, but it's also a love letter to Japan's history
yeah,
and
Japan
also
movies, yeah.
Japan's movies history,
Yeah, because you've got
filmmaking.
the World era, the World War II era, the post-war era with Godzilla, some
Yeah,
Godzilla-looking creature.
she's in a what's it? What are they called? Uh, kaiju movie. She's in a kaiju movie.
Yeah, that's yeah,
I
and yeah,
love
it's
the
like
design of the kaiju too. He's like a saber tooth type Godzilla dragon thing.
yeah, and
Um,
I like the fact that he's not only just going to visit her as well. He's organised it, but he's going to a studio that was like abandoned, deemed obsolete years ago, and is finally being destroyed, and
yeah,
there's nothing left of it now, and all
and
that's
that's
left
something
of it
else.
now is her.
Yeah, that's something else they talk about is like the idea that Japanese filmmakers really persevered by continuing on after World War II. Like they still,
Mm.
kept making movies after like the decimation of the war. And that's kind of really cool
Yeah,
anyway. And like I said,
yeah,
this
because
movie
wasn't
is kind
Akira kind of like about that as well? Like Japanese sort of worried that they
yeah,
might become taken over, consumed by the technology they were developing so quickly and so efficiently.
right. Yeah, and
Mm.
and it's funny because like I said, you know, like comparing this to Perfect Blue is like it's like Satoshi Kon set out to make the exact opposite movie that's kind
Yeah,
of about the same thing.
it's more emotional, isn't it? More heartfelt. While Perfect Blue was more disturbing, but yeah, at
Yeah,
the same time, it was like disorienting. But you knew why. It was all from the perspective of this actress who was losing her grip on reality. And I just
yeah,
love how defensive he gets as well when the cameraman's like, "Ah, that crazy old biddy. What do you care
yeah.
about her?" And he really does attack this guy. It's very funny, but it shows
Yeah,
the
you
yeah,
kind
you
of
get
get
the
the sense
relationship
that this
between these
guy,
two.
the director is like kind of,
Mm.
amateur, he's not really a filmmaker first as much as he is a super fan, first,
He is. Oh
he's
yeah,
kind of
he's
just winging it.
definitely. And I like the little hints as well when he sees the director for the first time in the flashbacks. That he's real angry, and you eventually found out why as well. Like little hints because it's like you said. I mean, it shows you everything that's going to happen at the beginning already. But what I like about it is you don't know this is going to happen. You just think it's a random little bit, but then it comes back into play for a very emotional payoff. I must say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I watched it again last night and it's one of those movies that just like pick up way more stuff every time you watch it.
yeah.
And it's all
Shatoshi Kon seems
subtext.
to Shatoshi Kon seems to really have done that a lot with his movies. I mean, because I think Tokyo Godfathers is still the one I've seen the most. But I'm
Yeah,
willing
me
to
too.
watch more of these because usually when a film gets all bonkers and crazy, I sometimes think maybe they're going a bit too over the top, but it kind of works here. I mean, Satoshi Kon seems to have a way going way over the top while still keeping it immersive and engaging.
Yeah. And this is where she tells him that
Mm.
he's got a Lotus studio, whatever.
Yeah,
Oh, she
named
comes out.
after her as well. Yeah, and she comes out and he's like real standing up to attention. He's sweating. He's going red. Everything. It's and you can. It's visually told as well that how much he has had this affection towards her as well. He's had this big crush as a kid, and we see her, and she's just this kindly old lady. She's looking very well, happy and adjusted, despite having a bit of a lonely life as well.
Yeah. Also, she tells you that earthquakes are like intrinsically tied to her history.
Mm.
But yeah, lotus flowers in this movie. She says they represent purity. But yeah, like the earthquake stuff. That's another thing. Like she also confirms, that the earthquake they felt this morning is real. And yeah, there's a big crane right behind them on that picture.
Oh,
You
yeah,
only see it a
so
couple times. And then she's got another crane painting also. But yeah, she this is where he gives
yeah,
her
and
back the key, and this is
yeah, he
like the
gives her
whole
the key,
point.
and you're wondering, and she's like something sparks in her as well, and I think that's why she becomes so enthusiastic with telling her story, and because it's brought this sort of new lease of life into it. It's kind of like her enthusiasm is kind of washing all over the director when he gets immersed in flashbacks or movies or flashback movies because the reality of our life and the movies are so blurred together. You can't you end up kind of having trouble distincting them.
Yeah, and she touches the key, and there's another little aftershock kind of earthquake tremor.
I know it's a
Uh,
big one. It's
but
a
yeah,
big
she
one.
says she says she was born during a great earthquake.
Yeah,
And
And it was World War II as well. And I think I might have missed a little bit of dialogue, but she had a family that was who worked in the stores as well, and I think her dad was
yeah,
killed.
her dad
So yeah,
died in the earthquake, and he left him a shop that they ran. And yeah, I don't know. She got into acting just because she met some guy on a train, saw her, and I don't know, thought that she should be in movies, especially because of the for the good of Japan type thing.
yeah, and I don't know if the guy with her was the what was he the guy on the train or one of her relatives? Because I might have that's one of the things I missed, even though I watched it twice. Because he's very adamant that she acts as well as for a propaganda piece for the soldiers. While the mother's like, no, she just needs to stay at home and be a living wife, and serve the husband and have
Yeah.
babies, and that's it.
Yeah, what better way to serve the country than to raise little kids, is what
Yeah,
the mom says basically. But you know,
yeah,
uh
and this is why I saw. I mean, I kind of saw it like they're still in the room while she's telling this story, but we're seeing it through kind of his both their points of views in a way that are melded together. So
yeah, because
yeah,
it's interesting because like not only are you getting her backstory through all the movies she was in, but you're also getting like Japan's history because all the movies she seems to be in seem to be kind of like chronological. We've got feudal Japan, and then we've got World War II Japan, and then we've got more modern stuff, and then the future with like the sci-fi stuff. But also, her backstory is also told kind of through this mechanism
mm,
of these actual movies that
yeah,
I don't know, they're interesting. It's just
yeah.
it's pretty
But it
fun
does,
stuff.
yeah, it gives an insight into Japan as well. That are just, I think they were just about to be taken over by the Japanese Empire and the indoctrination that all the soldiers went through, and the can't get the fucking words out. But or was it during that time? I can't because it doesn't really say what actual year it is, does it? So, but yeah, it's snowy, and this is where she comes, and yeah, I feel like a stalker, and this is where she meets this very mysterious guy who's like this I thought it was like, I mean,
Artist.
he's like,
He's an
I don't know
artist.
if
That's all
he's
you need
sort
to
of,
know.
yeah, he's an artist, yeah, but he says he was going off to fight later on as well. So I thought, oh, it might be a soldier that's going AWOL or something like that. But
Well, no, he's an artist who's basically on the run because I think he was making
yeah,
uh, uh
anti sort of imperial Japan.
anti-war, yeah,
Yeah,
anti-imperial Japan artwork or comics or
yeah, I
something.
thought it was kind of like both as well. I thought it was like both as well. Like he hates the war, but he has no choice but to fight. But obviously he's injured, and the police are trying to track him down, and she helps him, and she shelters him in this her father's shed, doesn't she?
Yeah, she tells them to go the other way. Who went that
Mm.
way? And also,
Yeah,
you've
and it
got
sort of it
the
comes
man with
back
the
as well,
scarred
doesn't
face.
it?
Yeah, then you got the man with
Yeah,
the scarred face who's looking for him, and who he keeps coming back to.
yeah, and it comes back as well in one of her movies, another movie of hers when she's a little older. Or is it real life? We don't know because it's a very hard distinction, and it feels very intentional as well.
Oh, also
Because
the soundtrack to this movie is awesome.
yeah, it's beautiful, fucking beautiful. You can relax to it and just doze off to it because it's that laid back. And what's the term? Cathartic, maybe. I don't think it's the right word, but
Well, it's also very
and yeah,
unique. Like it doesn't. There's nothing really that sounds like it. Like it's a very. It's like kind of like this weird, synthy kind of like harmonica sound. I don't know how to describe it. And then there's all these weird bells and chimes, and
yeah,
it's just very like this very like dreamlike melody.
yeah. I mean, the way it says as well sounds very something very poetic as well. I want to finish the painting while I'm so cold it hurts. I really love that line, and you can really see how smitten she is with him as well. And you
Yeah,
never
and
see
she
his
wants.
face as well. And I kind of like that you never see his face because you're still seeing it from her memories. And even she reveals later that she forgot his face, even though you do kind of see it later on when she repeats oh, he went over there, officer scene.
Yeah. Also, the whole thing about the waning moon, the day
Uh,
before the full moon, kind of
which comes out
represents
as
like,
well.
yeah, it represents like your
There's a hope for
attaining the
tomorrow or
dream.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. You still have tomorrow, but attaining the
Yeah. Mm.
dream, it's like once you attain the dream, that's when the full moon starts to wane. But the day before the full moon, it's like represents the idea that it's still out there. You can still get it. I don't know. There's just a lot going on subtext wise on this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I missed the line. My friends are fighting in Manchuria. So
Manchuria, yeah.
so it's his friends that are fighting. So
Which is,
yeah,
the whole reason why she takes the role, because the guy was telling her,
no,
go shoot in Manchuria.
and
Go
this is
shoot this movie in Manchuria.
yeah, and obviously he gives her the key because he trusts her as well. And she could have just fucking reported him like everyone else in Japan would have, because this was a time where I think everyone was indoctrinated as well by Japan's sort of tyranny.
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing anyway. So yeah, and they do the
Make
pinky
you a
promise,
little.
which yeah. And once again, most of these little bits come back as well. Like the girl's teasing her about the first love. It all comes back in different forms with other kids later on in her life. And yeah, he's always crying at every single one of her fucking movies.
Yeah.
I know he's kind of coming across a bit over the top as a fanboy, but he's got a very likability to him though. You kind of can't help but like what a soppy little
I think
bastard he
also
is.
like Shioko, like he's also kind of lonely. I don't know. He's
Yeah,
probably single. But that's kind of
yeah,
the cautionary tale. It's like you can spend your whole life chasing the dream or chasing this one guy like she does, but she overlooks a lot of stuff because of it. And you know, it's like she has like a life kind of filled, not necessarily filled with regret, but there's definitely, you know, there's a lot more she could have done with herself. But that's the thing, is like coming to terms with the life you've had and
yeah,
reflecting
man.
on it and realizing, it wasn't all a waste and it's all about the journey, and the pursuit was like, gave the gave your life a purpose.
Yeah.
Um,
So, yeah. Sorry, I missed the comments there because I'm looking at the slide, so it covers up the screen sometimes. So yeah, initially it takes place during the Sino-Japanese War, just prior to the intervention of the Allied forces. So yeah, so it probably is a little bit earlier then. So before Japan really got full on.
Yeah, she's like born in the 30s or something, I think.
Yeah, yeah, anti-war protest. Yeah, yeah, because I think he might have put that a little bit earlier when before I mentioned it. So yeah, and the thing is, his only friend is his cameraman, who he doesn't seem to have much in common with either. They're just kind of work colleagues, but he's the only
Yeah, like
companion he has right now.
I think they kind of barely know each other, you know?
Yeah, they just
Like
work with each other, and he just sort of does the thing, and that's it. It's nothing really personal, but
this camera guy's just kind of like a hired gun.
yeah. But he kind of reacts to the reality that's being blared as well. Like when the arrows shoot at him, he's like fucking shitting himself. But then it cuts to the room, and he's just kind of there. So I wonder if the director is kind of thinking, kind of imagining him reacting in that. It's never really established. But this is where she finds the rags, and she realizes he's and the key, so she has to try and return it to him. And they do add levity as well, because this is a little bit of a sad backstory, and they kind of add a little bit of lightness to it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the fact that this clerk kind of helps her out as well, where he's like, "Oh my god, a thief is in there!"
Yeah. Yeah. He might have gone to the train station, gives him a little wink. Yeah, she like races over to the train station to make sure she catches him in time. Also, all this animation, the running is like, it's just really well done. I also love her. Yeah, her little beauty mark is what's really good. Character
distinguishes
design.
her as well, because there's a lot of anime characters.
Yeah,
kind of look the same.
They all look the same.
The same big eyes, and this is an anime where you haven't seen anyone with big blonde spiky hair. They all are very appropriately Japanese. So yeah, and most of them have dark hair. And once again, I think the director and the cameraman being in the flashbacks is intentional as well, because this could have been just a standard. They sit around and listen to this actress tell a story in flashbacks, but they add them in there to make it a bit more maybe a bit more fun. Is the word?
It's like they're breaking the fourth wall, but they're not. It's not like they're breaking the fourth wall for the audience. They're breaking the fourth wall for like the director.
Yeah,
it's weird.
This is it's fucking it's just fucking cute watching him just cry. I cried at this scene too, and even the cameraman's like, "Is there any fucking movie of theirs you didn't cry to?" Jesus,
yeah, because now we're realizing like this whole train scene that we just saw is in a movie she did, her first movie. So it's very it's all like life imitating art and art imitating life. But yeah, I've never seen this mechanism before, you know, where someone's telling their backstory and then the two characters who are being told the story are like there. Like they're kind of like what is it, like a Christmas Carol ghosts, you know? Like like they're just there observing, you know, they can't change anything or anything. They're just there watching.
Yeah, so obviously she agrees to go to Manchuria to do the acting, save her country, blah, blah, blah. And this is where we meet the rival actress, who is the big hot thing at the moment, who is about to have a star stomped out, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, actors, you know, they're very competitive.
Yeah.
But, you know, and obviously, yeah, the mom is not happy that she's doing this either. But she's only doing it just so she could, in the possibility that she'll run into this guy again. But also she doesn't realize like she's going to get like this life of experience and meaning and do all this cool stuff, you know, just chasing a dream.
Yeah, Mr. E kind of makes a good point. Like I've always assumed the role played with hair.
Yeah.
That could be a good idea. That breaking the fourth wall with another fourth wall. That's like 16 walls. Was that the actual line? I fucking forgot now. It's been a while. Or maybe my math is off. I don't know. So yeah, this is where the director spots her as well, and she ends up having a relationship with him as well. And obviously, the fanboy is really pissed off as well. He's seeing him as well and we found out why as well.
Yeah, but also, you know, like I said, she has opportunities, you know, to pursue other romantic interests, and
No.
she doesn't. She's very loyal to this random guy for some reason, the artist. But the artist is just a metaphor as less as he is a character. I don't think we ever actually see him again,
No, we
except in
kind of
little
see we kind of
flashbacks
see him
and
though. We do kind of
metaphors.
see him in one of the movies later on where we do kind of see
Yeah,
his face, but it's never shown if it was it's never. But it kind of repeats what happened with her as a kid, and
yeah,
So once again, you never really know if she's being very accurate with what she's saying, because I don't think she's lying. I just think that her memory is not the best as it was. She's just saying what she can remember best.
yeah. But I mean, even
Mm.
the movie that she's about to be in is very similar. She's looking for an artist, a painter. She's asking an old
Yeah.
man who, I'm looking for him. And of course, she's using her
Yeah,
real
she
life
misdirects
experience.
the enforcers as well, and
Yeah, she's using her real life experience to channel a really good performance, because she's basically just, saying what she really feels.
yeah, and even the rival actress is kind of using it as a way to manipulate her a little bit, because she can probably see that this girl's gonna probably take over. Be a what's the term? She's probably the best competition she has against her, maybe. And I think she used it as well to try and get her to go to another location for another film show. But yeah, they're acting in this scene as well, which kind of might be mirroring her pursuit for this guy, but she fucks up. But eventually, the rival actress gives a shit, and she eventually kills the scene.
She
She shows
impresses.
her talent. Yeah, she impresses everyone.
Yeah, please tell me, where is he? Also, I love how when you watch Japanese movies, the American dubbed version is so different from the subtitles you're seeing. You're reading.
Yeah, it's like, are they trying to make the words match with the mouth while still keeping it similar to the translation, or because the
Yeah.
translation?
I don't understand why the obsession is about making the lips match the dialogue when you dub a movie over. It's really
Yeah,
not necessary.
yeah, it's a replacement. That's the word. Yeah, 'cause she sees her as a replacement for her, and a lot of these
Yeah,
actresses do kind of get a
especially
little
with
bit.
actresses too.
I know.
Like, actors
Yeah,
can be around for a while, but once you get aged out as an actress, that's it.
yeah, and I don't get why though, because we're still seeing Helen Mirren kind of killing it, even though she's in her 80s, and even Scarlett Johansson,
Well, because she's a hot
despite
old
some of her
lady.
shit. I
We
know.
we like Helen Mirren because she's still got it going on. But
Yeah,
every time she plays an old woman, she's got to play like a hot old lady. But she is the hot old lady actress. There's like her and Susan Sarandon and, like, I don't know, a couple others, but that's it. I mean, it's just very difficult to maintain working
yeah,
like that.
it's all vanity, isn't it? Women have. I know it sounds a bit sexist, but women are very, very vain, and there is a harshness to the fact that they will eventually not be as young as looking as they used to, even
Well,
if
it's also
they ask
the
them attractive.
misogyny of the
Yeah,
film industry. Like, we
yeah,
fucking
because you
look
get
through.
some guy. Yeah, because somehow the younger, hotter actresses get the seats in. They get the
Yeah,
male seats, and the majority of the audience for cinema goers is mostly male.
yeah, we were watching the scary movies, which are, 1 and 2 are not as fun. I mean, 1 is actually funnier than the second one, but 3
Yeah,
is
I
the best
agree.
one. I think 3 is the best one by far because, but anyway, the whole
But
point is
yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I know. I think
we were wondering where Anna Faris went, and then we saw some pictures of her recently. We're like, oh yeah, she's just not she's funny and she's cute, but I mean, yeah, she's just she doesn't have that cute little charm that she used to have. She's just kind of an old mom,
oh,
with
has she had
weird
well
teeth.
done though? Has she had
Probably,
fucking
yeah,
well?
yeah,
Because she
yeah.
does look like she has done a little bit. And come on, she was a really cute, fucking good-looking woman who could be really funny. She had great comic timing. She could play the dick so well, and I liked her for it. But
But the point is, you get a younger, hotter girl who can also be funny, and that's it.
yeah,
We don't need to hire Anna anymore. Same thing with the. But that's the thing is, like, it's not that Chioko's rival stops getting work. She just finds that her roles kind of
becomes a bit more
transition into the
limited.
bitter,
Yeah,
jealous old lady.
yeah.
She's no longer the main lead actress. she plays basically Chioku's mom in all the
Yeah.
movies, you know.
So, yeah, so obviously it's looking like she's leaving the shoot, which seems very unprofessional. But then it's obviously I kind of saw it as the rival kind of manipulating her to because they got another location to shoot, and it's to make her play ball maybe in a way. I don't. I think I might have missed something on there because it's still the second time I watched, and I know I probably need to watch it a few more times to get most what was happening. But once again, reality
Dude,
kind
yeah,
of went full of
this is
bumblebee.
like one of those movies where it's like I had this movie on DVD for a long time, which was hard to find, but still it took me a long time to watch the whole movie because this is one of those movies that it's like you put it on and it's easy to fall asleep to. It's also really you know, it's one of those movies where I didn't like watch it all the way through until I had it like for several years on DVD. And even now it's like trying to watch it all the way through is like the movie is very dreamlike and you're kind of it's easy to be like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, I
You
know.
know who?
Once again, Shatoshi Kon finds a way to keep you engaged, despite the fact you're wondering, "Oh wait, what the fuck happened here? Did I miss something here?" But what? What?
Well,
Once
this is
again,
one of those movies where if this was live action, I think would be not as cool. You know, a lot of animated movies.
yeah, I know, because there's just so much you can do. There's so much more you can do with animation. You can sort of flex the reality, for lack of a better term, and it would
Yeah, well, like
work.
we
But if
talked
you
about
tried,
on
mm,
like we talked about with I think Paprika or Tokyo Godfathers. It could be one of them, but we were talking about how
I'm
Satoshi
sure.
Kon chose to do animation because you can do everything so much faster. You can the takes and the cuts can be way faster. You know, you can have scenes that are just like 3 or 4 frames long and still like get the point of what you're trying to convey. Whereas like it's much harder with live action to do that. But
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't know.
Plus,
Some movies, you know, some movies it's like, oh, if this animated movie was live action, I was saying that about Common Side Effects. Like if this was live action, it'd be great. It'd be way more better received. But if this one was live action, I don't think it hit
no,
as
it
it
wouldn't.
hit as hard. No.
I know because I remember when I watched the live action Beauty and the Beast, and I remember seeing the dance numbers look so fucking stiff because they just couldn't have the exaggerated movements of the animated classic. It just
Yeah.
there was no life in the real life dance numbers, while in the animation, something that's just painted and fucking drawn on a piece of paper somehow had more life.
And it's funny because it probably takes about the same amount of time to make, you know, either illustrating and drawing and animating a big dance number or choreographing and casting and filming
Yeah,
a big dance number. They probably take about the same amount of time.
yeah, because I think they still do it live, don't they? Film it, then rotoscope it to get the movements correct. I know a lot do anyway. I know Disney used to do that a lot with Snow White with some
Dude.
of their uh, some of their scenes.
And it's
They just sort of,
crazy. I don't, you know, I don't think this anime, these movies use any rotoscoping, which is crazy to think of.
I don't
Because
think
like
so either.
when you look at the fluidity of the
Yeah,
movements in
because
this movie,
anime never
especially,
moves as fluid, does it? It almost they always move like there's a couple of frames missing, but that kind of what makes anime so unique, though, isn't it? Compared to the more Western animations,
yeah, totally.
and yet,
Um,
but and it does add a bit, of, like I said, it adds a bit of levity as well when we get thrown into the confusion. Just seeing the cameraman, like, when the fuck did this happen? Am I in danger here? Even though this is just a flashback.
yeah, so now we're like in her feudal Japan movie,
Yeah, no,
her samurai soldier movie. This is, you know, where she you know, she comes into fear. She faces the fear that the guy she's looking for might actually already be dead or
yeah.
gone.
I
'Cause
saw it as like a foreshadowing that she didn't realize, though.
yeah, like she, you know, in her story, in this story, her love has been killed, and she's about to commit seppuku.
Yeah, but
And
then she gets stopped by this mystical old lady who's like, the only way you can see him again is if you go to the other world. And
oh, there's another crane right behind her.
yeah, oh yeah,
Uh, but yeah, this old lady, you know, this represents you know, this is basically like the ghost of Christmas future. You know, this is basically
yeah,
her older self, like in a metaphorically, you know. It's like your older self, like talking to your younger self about how, like, you know, I love you and hate you at the same time, you know. I can't, yeah, I mean, she's basically going to, I mean, literally in this story, she's going to say, I can get you a chance to be with your lover. All you have to do is just drink this potion. And of course, it was a big trick. It's actually 1,000-year tea, and now you will burn in the flames of love forever.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. And that's technically what happens to her. It's her hindsight.
Yeah, because it kind of like it kind of takes over her life a little bit, doesn't it? Just this one guy she barely knew, and it is kind of. I don't still think this is foreshadowing that he's dead, but she doesn't realize it yet, or maybe there was a part of her that knew, but she didn't want to admit it. But that's what I like about this. You can just come away with a lot of different conclusions. Shatoshi Kon even said he didn't want anything spelled out. He wanted people to sort of come to their different interpretations of this, and that's what filmmakers should do more.
Yeah, but I know if they ever remade this movie, it would be.
I hope they didn't.
No, they won't. Hopefully they don't either. But I mean, if they did, it would be like yeah, let's make it more on the nose.
Yeah, I just love how the fucking director just becomes the heroes that he saw rescuing her in these movies as well.
Yeah, this is the first time where he shows up and he's like he's breaking. He's no longer a ghost of he's no longer doing the Scrooge thing where he's now intervening in the memories somehow. Because I guess and the reason is because he's familiar with all the movies. He knows the parts. He's actually he's able to gel in and kind of take up these positions of these characters in the retelling of her life, in the reenactment of her backstory.
I know, and he's even willing to fucking take a bullet for her as well. He's like, because we see later he's just reenacting in the room, but that's what makes it so funny as well. We've seen all this badass stuff just happening. He's doing all this cool shit, and it turns out he's just been this fucking fanboy loser in real life. It's kind of like South Park with Warhammer, where they're these total badasses on this games, but they had to become these total fucking greasy fat losers as well to become those badasses on the game.
Oh yeah, Warcraft, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. This is what happens when you have actors telling stories. Like, oh, they got to get all into it, it's like a chance to play pretend again,
Yeah, but there's a charm to it as well. I mean, these aren't bad people. They're not total narcissists or nihilists or something. They're just guys who have this big passion for this one little this job.
Yeah, there's no real like villain in this movie or anything.
Yeah, and like they do have this connection to each other as well. They actually get along really well. And they do have chemistry as well. These characters, fucking hell, I would like to have seen more of these in a way because they're so likable and charming.
Yeah, and this is like another feudal. This is a different feudal Japan movie she's in now, where she's
I know she's like she's kind of like some was it Princess Mononoke kind of sort of character, or Taki from Soul Calibur, some shit like that. And the rival actress is the one who's got love all kidnapped, and he's about to be executed, and she has to rescue him. And once again, fucking fat director comes in to save her again, and it's fucking hilarious.
I love her big mosquito net hat she's wearing at the beginning of the scene, and it's a sabotage. She's like an assassin or something in this one.
Yeah.
Or come to. Yeah, we get some legit anime kung fu fighting too in this part of the movie. It's all done.
Yeah, so it's very touching. It's very engaging, but it's also it's fun to watch. And once again, the cameraman might be my favorite character in the whole movie. He's just a guy trying to do his job, and he's sort of sucked into the madness a little bit. But even he's kind of getting a little bit tired of it now. It's like, oh, I hope someone fires me. I could do a lot better.
Like I said, he represents the audience, and the audience is kind of at this point, what am I watching? Like, what is this movie? Like, we're like 35 minutes in. And it's like, this movie's gonna be wacky.
Yeah, I mean, I think you really got to be very aware just how different anime Japanese humor is to ours, because it is kind of like how some Americans don't get our humor as well, and I think because sometimes we just have this culture, don't we, where we have different takes on things. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, because they do kind of skimp a little bit on the frames, but like I said, it's what makes anime so unique. Not having
Well, that's why
movement.
Akira was crazy, because Akira would decided to do whatever it was, like 28 frames per second, which is crazy for animation.
Yeah, I mean, he even used some shots where there's no frames moving. It's just stills, and the camera moves in. He had sound effects where a character goes, "Oh!" It's it's a style, isn't it? It's a style.
Oh yeah, especially when you watch the animated TV shows from the 80s and 90s. Like, yeah, there's
Oh yeah,
definitely some shortcuts and some cheapness. Like, I was watching some big crazy Dragon Ball fight that was like being shared around, and I was like, yes, I never really watched Dragon Ball. I watched it in Spanish in passing when I was a kid. But yeah, like you watch, it's like there's definitely a whole lot of animation shortcuts they do. But it still looks awesome. I mean, it's still fun,
yeah. That
hilarious.
was seemed to pull it
They're
off,
like punching
don't
each other through mountains and stuff.
Yeah, so he's like the mysterious bodyguard again. My name is not important. And he's doing the whole what's the name of the actor in Yojimbo? I think he's doing him a
Yeah.
little bit as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
In a way. Oh, I forgot his fucking name. Yeah, but he's a good actor. He was in the original Shogun as well.
Some Japanese name, you know? They're all,
Yeah, I think he's in Redbeard as well, isn't he? Because I think it's done by the same director, and he
Akira
did work for the
Kurosawa.
same director. Yeah, Kurosawa. Yeah. Another, yeah, is why you're helping me is like the same reason because I like you, and it's also the same reason why you're willing to die for this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once again, they got good chemistry. Even when he's playing with flashback self, they do sort of like feel like you do sort of feel this kinship between them. So yeah, it's often they often rock the frames back and forth to illustrate light, and yeah, that's actually a good point there. So yeah, we've got to move on to the scene because that's what this film does. It just moves on, without fucking caring. I mean, without any consistency, but it still sort of like mirrors the same point of what happened. And yeah, where's the guy I loved? And is like, there's no use for someone who's about to be executed as nothing to live for, something like that. And,
Kyoto. Yeah.
yeah.
And then she trips over a little chain, and then all of a sudden now she's in
Yeah,
some
she's a geisha.
movie. Yeah, geisha movie.
And she's like this geisha who's trying to escape to find her love again, and the madam's not very happy about it, and she's keeping her locked up. And once again, the old witchy thing is like giving him warning as well. You cannot escape your fate, all that stuff. So, and yeah, and once again, director shows up. He's in the wrong fucking era as well. He still hasn't moved on from the last era he got stuck in.
Yeah.
So that's just
Isn't your costume wrong?
Yeah, and
Or
everyone's bad mouthing her, saying, "Hey, she's a fool chasing this guy," blah blah blah. And he's wondering what the fuck has just happened here as well. Like, this was supposed to be just a simple, you see this woman, you talk to her, we film it, make a documentary, and now it's gone all fucking weird. Now, what the hell is going on? It's like,
yeah, we are the 7 transformations, the legend of Chioku Furugawa, or whatever her name is. Like, we're still making a documentary. He's what he's telling his camera guy.
Yeah, you can tell it's probably just under the pretense of meeting her. He's like, we're making a documentary. No, he just wants to meet her. That's it. He's been a big fan with her, and he's finally got a chance to see her after such a long time of not seeing her on screen. That's what I kind of got from this a tiny bit.
Oh, yeah, she does the quick change or whatever. Her hair changes again.
Yeah, once again, he rescues her again, and she goes out to run, and she runs into him again. And I think, this is kind of we see his face, but is that how she's? We never know. It's just the only time we see his face, and it's like back to what happened in their past again with him, where she has to draw the lawmen out away from to rescue him, and so he can escape.
But even when we see this guy again, like his face is always in shadow, and his eyes have no details.
It's like she gets a sense of his face, but can't fully remember what it looked like. Unless you're a racist bastard like us who think, they all look the same anyway.
Yeah.
And it's once again the guy with the scar, and even he gets a bit of a character arc later on when he's a little bit more old and broken down, and we see that is basically a product of the indoctrination of the Imperial Japanese Army. Once again, he's rescuing her as well, and he sends a fucking horse to rescue her, and he doesn't even realize the horse has rescued her until he turns around. And he struggles to whistle the horse as well, which makes me laugh. His face goes red. He starts sweating like he's about to pass out. So yeah, he's like the hero, but at the same time, he's still this fucking sort of nerd in real life.
I can't whistle, but I was watching that stupid Snow White movie, and she was telling me, oh, you gotta just put your lips together and blow is what everyone says, but put your lips together, push your tongue up to your teeth, and then blow. And I was like, oh, and I was able to get a whistle out doing that. I was like, wow, it worked. Hang on.
I used to whistle a lot. When I was a kid, I used to try and whistle with no success. And when I finally did, I would annoy the fuck out of my fucking parents with it. So I'm so glad.
There we go. I did it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when I do the fingers whistling, where you put the fingers in your mouth and whistle. That's I have an hard time doing that.
That's the siren whistle where you can whistle really loud like that. Hell yeah. I wish I could do that.
She's traveling to all these places as well to meet him, but then she comes across and he's fucking having to fucking carry her ass out over there as well. But he's willing to do it as well, even he probably might pass out from exhaustion.
Yeah, now she's in World War II Japan or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and the indoctrination really has gotten through a big majority of the public in Japan.
Yeah, because in the last 15 minutes, we cut through 3 movies, I think.
Yeah, and this is where we found out that the law knows his affiliation with her because he left something special in a storeroom wall, and you never know what it is. And she's locked up now. She's kind of a political prisoner, but is it real life? Is it a movie? Because the rival actress is there as well, and so is the other geishas.
Yeah, the 3 jealous girls.
Yeah,
and exactly like I was saying, how this actress, the rival, she's representing, those people that have gotten what they wanted, and now they're bitter, or their life has less meaning or purpose.
Yeah. And she shows the faith while everyone else is saying, you won't betray him now, but you just wait. But then,
big naysayer. You don't even know if this guy's what if you're gonna, this guy he might not be into you anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
People's feelings change is what she says.
Yeah, because we don't know, was the second encounter real, or was it just something she was dreaming about? Because once again, it repeats what happened when she was a kid. Yeah. So I remember. So maybe her memory is just a little bit weird and blurry because she's gotten older now. Because she even says, they suggest taking a break from the interview and maybe finishing off tomorrow, but she says, no, tomorrow I will not remember. So who knows? So once again, you got a little hint as well that not everything she's saying may be reliable, but not deliberately either. She probably is being honest, but she's just saying what she honestly can remember. And then once again, he's like this millionaire guy who's bailing her out, and so she can go and find her love. And he's got this incredible, unrealistic amount of cash. It's crazy.
And she's gonna see. She's seeing the guy being taken off into political, prisoner torture. And this is kind of again, hinting at what actually happened to the guy.
Yeah, because I think when she does find out what happened to him, it is a real memory. And this is where it's I think Japan's about to get bombed as well, and she's looking for the storeroom as well to find the painting, and everyone's calling her in as well, and even the cameraman's once again questioning what the fuck is happening because it's just switching through different time periods, just like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they get inside the shelter.
The World War II stuff. That's the thing is this is also this is where we start kind of seeing stuff that actually happened to her, and not on a movie set. because Japan was kind of
Oh yeah, they got fucked up.
bombed big time. But she's going through the rubble and she sees that the artist drew a picture of her.
Yeah, he remembers her, and it just gives her this hope, doesn't it? And this thing with the shoe, I mean, was she wearing this shoe as a kid, or does it reflect something from her for her?
The Tom Hanks shoe. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's just your life is passing you by. You're not a kid anymore. She's not a little girl anymore. She's a woman now. And
Genshi, is that the name of the director?
Genshi?
Genshi, yeah. I think that might be.
Genshi. Goatee guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't find out what happened to the to her guy, but Genshi does. And Genshi has known, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's very tragic, Mr. E. I mean, damn. Watching this makes me want to find my first wife. She was Japanese. I don't know. Oh, shit. I know, I could probably find us. Technology these days. I don't know. Forgot my mic was on during this Zoom meeting and whistled out loud.
Nice. I like how he's listening to us while on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, I'm really hope you don't get fired for this. I really hope you're doing a good job keeping it going. But yeah, thanks for joining us, even though you got this Zoom meeting. If you do get off early, let me know and I'll send you the link, man. And yeah, it's this relaxing music as well, and it just sort of like stays still on her facial expression when she sees it.
It's a picture of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it says, we'll meet again, or I'll find you, or whatever it says.
Yeah. Until the day we meet again.
Yeah.
But then she passes out, and obviously because she's older as well, they've exhausted her, and
and he says, we'll pick this up tomorrow, and she's like, no, I won't remember tomorrow. I won't be able to. So she kind of knows that her time is coming to an end. I think,
Yeah, it's like maybe she won't remember tomorrow because she'll be dead, and she won't be able to tell her story.
Yeah.
And I'm like that. He's willing to put his own little obsession aside just for her consideration. But she's like, no, let's go on. Let's just keep going on. And talks about how hard things were in the war, because
post-war, not even just post-war, like just trying to stay alive, but also on top of that, just trying to make movies. Like that's just crazy.
Especially when there's fuck all left in the country.
No, but I love this Japanese Godzilla knockoff. What he looks like. The copyright saved Godzilla.
Does the dragon look a little bit more like Chinese? I don't know. I thought I saw some more whiskers.
Yeah, he's got those like Chinese dragon teeth, the saber teeth and stuff, the tusks.
Yeah, it's cool, like you said, it's a very it's like it's celebrating the nostalgia of Japanese cinema in a way, and Godzilla is one of the famous of them all. I think that puts Japanese cinema on the map.
And this is where we find out that Genshi worked for the studio that she was a part of.
Yeah, no, he's very young as well, and this is where we find out why he doesn't like the director either, because every time he tried to do something, the director just gave him shit for it, and he wasn't very. He didn't make his work days very easier either.
His name's Genya. That's his name.
Genya. Yeah, he's a very young lad as well, very trim as well in shape, opposed to his much more rotund appearance as he's gotten older.
The Allies funded the movies in Japan in the occupation days. Okay, that's cool. That makes sense.
Yeah. And honestly, when on my first watch, I thought this was another director at first, but no, it's the same guy that caster, and he's a little bit older now.
Well, that's kind of how it used to be. Was like there'd be a studio, and they had like a few crews. Like they would they'd recycle like whole crews for movies.
Yeah.
Which makes sense why, the same director's always showing up and the same rival actress is always showing up.
Yeah. And obviously he's trying to fucking charm his way onto her now because she's pretty much of age, at least in Japanese terms. I mean, it's not really
Yeah,
established how old she is here. Maybe
in
18.
her 20s probably, or
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, exactly. Like this director's basically trying to shoot his shot, and she could have had a very different life right here if
yeah,
she had just been more open and receptive, and also, realizing that her quest to find this guy was kind of
very futile.
futile.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
like
I like the cameraman's reaction. Genshi is very infuriated on the line he's using, and the cameraman's like, "Yeah, I should try that one someday."
it is a good line. It's like,
It is, yeah,
I'm a paint, it's like painting, and I found a color I love to, I like now, and that color is you. But yeah, she's like, she gets this like kind of
yeah. It sings against the
tremor.
classic romancer, doesn't it? It
Yeah, there's like a
reminds,
tremor in her drink and the key. She kind of looks at the key. She's got the key on her neck at all times, just like as a reminder. And
yeah.
she
I
like
think
chickens out.
she almost would have gone for the director, but I think that key just sort of like walk her out of it.
Just think, like, do you think that artist is being totally celibate right now for you? Wherever the hell he is, assuming he's alive, which he isn't. But
No, yeah,
no, he's not.
he probably shagging some fucking
Right.
some pre-hippie chick or something like that, some beatnik chick.
And it just shows it's kind of like when you're obsessed with like a dream or a goal. Yeah, like you'll lose sight of other things, that are important around you. It's not a good thing. It's
No.
not a good way to be. You gotta, it's like a rat chick and Starship Troopers. Like never pass up a good thing.
Yeah, and he passes up fucking Dizzy for fucking Denise Richards' character. Terrible. Yeah, so obviously he's a little bit lost as well, and their face is all up because
Yeah, she's gonna go back and visit the parents or the mom.
and once again it kind of blends into the movie she's making as well. I mean, her mum's telling her, "Listen, not to pursue this futile search for this guy who you met
Yeah.
once and haven't
All the
seen."
political prisoners have been set free, So if if he's not around, he's probably dead. You're
Yeah,
too old to be
exactly.
dreaming like a little girl, she says to her.
Yeah.
And then she sees
She is still that little girl in her mind, isn't she? She's not really
yeah,
paying attention to the fact that her life is passing her by,
right.
and
And
then
then
it blends into the movie.
she
Yeah, then
gets
it
a witness,
blends.
sees the old ghoul lady again, and then all of a sudden cut to just like this is like just like Perfect Blue, where now we're on set and they're actually filming a movie all of a sudden, and now it's the rival actress playing the mom.
Yeah,
And
because
she's blowing a take.
they both seem like the antagonists to her as well. Her mum and the rival actress, because her mum's very sort of like being against her as an actor, while this other one's trying to jeopardize her chances of being a big actor as well.
Yeah, this old lady's
Yeah.
gonna take a break. Yeah.
Take 5
And then this is where she realizes her key is gone.
yeah, because rival actress, the bitch just fucking took it away from her because she's bitter. She's and yeah, it looks like Genshi has kids as well because he's got these kids with him. And
yeah,
it seems that way. So he must have had a fucking happy life. He must, though. Whether he's still married now, we don't know.
I guess we don't know.
So everyone's looking for the key now, and
so he says that Yoko did it, and the director does kind of say we don't know for sure, but yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah, and like I was telling his younger self, the rival actress took it, but obviously because it's the past, they're like shadows, aren't they? The shadows of the future in the past.
Yeah. And then we cut to a new movie where she's a school teacher.
Yeah, and this is where we start to realize that she cannot remember her face, and she goes back to she goes back to her present self and just has this fucking breakdown. It's
you're obsessing over someone you can't even, like I said, you can't even remember what he looks like. You're chasing an idea, not even a real man.
Yeah,
you're chasing it's very idealist. This idea that life doesn't turn out the way you envision it to either. You play out scenarios in your head the way you would like them to go, and rarely, if ever, do they actually turn out that way. And that is a story of life. we don't, you don't get necessarily what you want, but you get what you need, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so but then she did get married eventually to the director, and this is when she finds out that the key has been hidden by rival actress, and I don't know if the rival actress had a thing for the director back then and left it in that room years ago, but she definitely finds it in there, and yeah, it all comes out. It really all comes out. She reverts back to her sort of childish self, obsessed with the idea.
Yeah. It's Oh, and yeah, also this is where we're kind of transitioning to the sci-fi space
Yeah,
stuff, you know, because I guess it's
it's,
the 60s, right? 50s or 60s now, and we're dealing with the space race and the rockets and the sci-fi craze.
I know, and it's because it never really tells you the exact year, but if you know your history enough, then you probably will be able to guess it. And this is where, yeah, obviously the fan she tells all that old guy who was psychic, I was a dirty trick on you because I was so jealous of you, and she kind of redeems herself here. She kind of comes clean about what a rotten person she was to her.
Yeah. It was stupid of me to play the role of the thief, she says, but she's always held a grudge, kind of.
Yeah, she talks like a Japanese actress. It was stupid of me to play the role of a thief because no person would have said it like that. They would have said, "Yeah, I shouldn't have stole from you. It was wrong. It was wrong. It was fucking wrong."
Yeah. What did I ever do to you? I was jealous of you, of your youth, you know. How you chasing that one man kept you youthful.
Yep, and he's trying to kind of like.
Oh, the
There's a
director stole it, is what
violent
Mystery
gas.
says. The director stole
Yeah,
it, and the older actress took the blame or allowed the assumption because she had been blackmailed by the director.
uh, yeah. It's like he said. It's one of those things where you have to watch a few times and pick up on because they do throw a lot as well, don't they? At the same while you're watching it. But
Yeah, and
this is
here's
where we found, and this is where we,
Genya. Yeah,
yeah,
Genya telling him that there's someone to see her. And it's the scarred faced man who now is, an eye missing and a leg, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's because this is a guy who was indoctrinated by the old Imperial Japanese Army, and now he's seen the indoctrination for what it is, and how he allowed himself to be turned into this fucking drone who did not but seek violence and torture on someone that didn't deserve it. And he redeems himself as well in a way. He really does sort of like repent what is all the bad shit that he's done.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know.
So, yeah, you're finding out that the key, as soon as you find the key again, you find out that you're probably not going to see this guy again.
I know. Yeah, because he never really found out what he did until the ending. But to be honest, as soon as this scene happened, I knew exactly
Well,
what happened.
she gets a letter from the guy saying, I'm sorry, it's not going to work out, probably never going to see you again. But yeah,
She
Genya later's
still
talking
goes out.
to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I already knew the guy was dead. The moment he just fucking broke down like that, I knew, and I think she's kind of like running away from the truth in a way, isn't she? She's still trying to desperately find some kind of hope here. So she
Oh,
does
we
this
get the
big run, and
montage of her
yeah,
running through all the different eras.
I know, and I probably might have to really speed through this as well because there is a lot of screenshots because it does go on
Oh,
for
yeah.
quite a while, but it just
And
keeps going and going.
she's also on the new future train, a new high tech. She's not on some old steam train like the old days. Adam Gray loves this movie. Yep, this is a good one. Mr. E says the director knew the older actress had the old man in Manchuria fortunate teller spin the story about the artist. Yeah.
It keeps going as well because like it's trying to make you just as exhausted as she is. And the music keeps going too, like da, 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 da. And eventually she does. She comes across the old lady. You will burn forever, and the fires of eternal love. She's reality is blaring with every of her entire back catalogue.
Yeah, this is where she's kind of coming to terms with what's happening. Oh yeah, the big
Yeah.
truck with the big cranes on it again.
Yeah, we
More
get shown
cranes.
the director as well. Yeah, they
He's even
once
got little
again they have
origami
to.
cranes in his truck cabin.
Yeah, and this is probably this looks like the 80s a little bit as well because it looks very a little bit more modern, or it could be the 50s. No, looks a
Oh
bit
yeah, and then
more.
we get the hot kaiju action. Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and he's helping destroy the Gojira ripoff, so she can find Earle if he's still alive, which we know he isn't, and eventually
Yeah.
right into the cold, like he said, so cold it hurts.
Yeah, so
That's
that
where he
last
wants to
like
be.
that whole running scene was like there's so many transitions. It's
I
insane.
know.
This movie is like
Yeah,
a fever dream, basically. And then yeah, now we're cutting to the last one where she's on the moon.
yeah. Last movie,
I gotta
and
return this key.
yep, and all that's there is this
You're going
painting of
over the hill and you finally see it, and it's just the lone painting, and then you see the guy in the painting kind of waving goodbye and fading away. Kind of, this is her coming to terms with the fact that she's never going to see the guy ever again. Even though, she could have come to terms with that earlier in her life, but I don't know. It's like, letting go of the past and moving on. But like, this is where she lets go of the dream. This is where the waning moon happens, and now it's this is basically when, literally in her life she quits acting and kind of becomes a recluse, but also this is where she officially starts to become an old woman. This is where her youth officially is no longer a thing. Her dream, she's let go of the dream, and she doesn't have a new one, to replace it.
Because I mean, it all comes tumbling down on her, and that's when she gets saved from the wreckage, and she leaves the key behind, and it's never known whether she deliberately did it or just unconsciously did.
Yeah, and exactly like she's gonna go find him. She'll never come back, and then there's a big earthquake.
Yeah, once
another
again,
earthquake.
And this time, he's saving her as well. He's saving her for real. He's not fantasizing.
He actually did save her life, which is why you find out that's why he keeps putting himself in that role in her flashbacks. He saved her before.
I think it's like Wes says, or Reacher says as well, details matter. And Shatoshi Kon, and does he write these movies as well, or does he have other people?
It's funny because this one is actually I think this one and Tokyo Godfathers are original stories, whereas I think Perfect Blue and Paprika and Perfect Blue I think are based on books loosely. But he still adapts them his own way. But yeah, this one was, I think he wanted to make Paprika for his second movie, but it wasn't it just wasn't in the cards. So he's like, all right, fine. Well, I'm just gonna, me and the guy who wrote Perfect Blue, me and the person who adapted Perfect Blue are going to just come up with an original story. And like I said, I think they were purposely setting out to just do the exact opposite of Perfect Blue with a very similar story, a very similar setting. Like I said, this movie is very meta. It's a movie about movies, also as well as other things. But yeah, I love you get all this Japanese film history told through this fictitious story. I thought Millennium Actress was an OVA. What does OVA stand for?
OVA. So look, wasn't. Yeah, you have to establish that for us. Sorry about that,
man. Hang on. Original video animation. Yes, it is original.
Yeah, and they returned Nikito after like 30 years, and she's.
Did it get to the theatrical run? I don't know. Maybe. Did Perfect Blue get a theatrical run? I don't know. The thing is, man, a lot of times movie filmmakers, their sophomore film, their second movie is usually, not as good as the first one. Sometimes it's like this curse, but and I can see someone, I don't know. Like I said, this is one of those movies where I think if you watched all four of the movies in order, you would think that Millennium Actress is a low point. But then when you revisit them, like I said, I think it's better to save Millennium Actress for last, because I think it really is like one of the big high points of his filmography, because of how subtle it is, and also how poignant it is, and also just like how much more meaning it has now that Satoshi Kon is dead. It's one of these things, because like I said, your life, you get older, you have, old man filled with regret, like Ken Watanabe says in Inception. It's something, I don't know, I feel like this movie, it'd be easy to dismiss this movie watching it once, kind of like with a kind of watching it in passing, but if you watch this like with 100% attention and watch it a few times, especially if you watch it a few times, like years in between, wait a few years, watch it again. This movie definitely hits harder a lot. And yeah, it's softer on the edges. Like I said, it's the only PG movie he made. But yeah, there's just a lot going on. This movie's way more relatable. I think everyone can relate to this movie, as opposed to Paprika and Tokyo Godfathers. Like I said, is my favorite Christmas movie. But I think there's something that you could speak to everybody with this movie. And again, Satoshi Kon always having like the lead character being a female, being he's always like trying to subvert expectations, in a good way.
Yeah, because with Tokyo Godfathers, I don't think I've seen many Japanese animes where one of the lead characters is a transvestite anyway, because it's still a guy who wears women's clothes, isn't it?
Oh, right. Yeah. God. Yeah. Tokyo Godfathers, I think, is it's funny because Tokyo Godfathers is probably my favorite Christmas movie. It is, but when you try to pick your favorite Satoshi Kon movie, it's hard, because Perfect Blue is amazing, especially for a first movie. But like I said, I think this one grows on you big time. And obviously Paprika and Paprika's nuts. I think Paprika's probably his God, I want to say his not my least favorite, and that's not what I want to say, but I mean, I think I would still put that as number 4 in the list of like
It's
best
hard as well, because I think I might have seen every single one of Shatoshi Kon's movies now, but and I can't really.
And we've talked about all 4 of them now, but we didn't. I guess the next would be watch the show Paranoia Agent. That's the only other one that we're missing.
But that was a show, wasn't it?
It's a series, yeah. It's wild.
So I'll have to check that out then. I'll have to check that out one day. I probably would do a edited review, but fucking, YouTube and the Japanese, they're very, very careful with stuff being put on YouTube. They're very, very restrictive.
Yeah, what was it? Cinevere telling me that she had to scrap a whole video because there was music in one of her video game videos. I'm like, you have the score from the video game is enough to get the video blocked. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, that is ridiculous.
I know.
Getting into Paranoia Agent is weird. Paranoia Agent does feel, a little different. It's definitely set aside from the Satoshi Kon movies. But yeah, so of course we have
where it's revealed, where she was the older woman, and it looks like they had the photograph of her as a kid, the painting of her, and once again, it just sparks something in her that she hasn't felt in a long time. This sense of nostalgia and how she felt during that time. It's
Blue Collar Losers asking Enzo and Luke. They have Princess Mononoke and IMAX playing. You think it's worth seeing? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you not seen it before? Have you not seen it? If you haven't seen it, definitely. If you have seen it, probably yes. I mean, why not?
Yeah, pretty gruesome for a PG movie as well. But then again, Japanese probably have different standards.
You could argue that Spirited Away is quote unquote the best Miyazaki movies, because it got the most critical acclaim and awards and stuff, and it is a good one. But yeah, my favorite's always been Princess Mononoke, because it's the darkest and most violent and most hardcore. And it's not that hardcore, but I mean, it is. It's pretty. It's a hard PG-13 for sure, which is rare. Kind of. It's interesting because Princess Mononoke is one of the only Miyazaki movies that's like kind of rough on the edges, where it's like this is the only Satoshi Kon movie that's, you know, real soft on the edges and sweet and like I said, PG, all, you know, all audiences.
Yeah, I've noticed that Shatoshi Kon is not afraid to put you through a character's tragedy, but he always sort of has this optimism as well. This sort of
Yeah.
yeah, this sort of faith in humanity kind of thing. And once again, even though we have this one character who was kind of harsh and jealous and bitter, but she's still human. I mean, she still comes clean about what a rotten person she was, and even the soldier who was a ruthless and tortured the guy that she loved, he kind of does redeem himself. Also, he shows
Yeah.
he is human, and that
Well, like if I were to tell you, like you could summarize all the Satoshi Kon movies pretty simply. You know, like Perfect Blue is a pop star trying to be an actress who's dealing with a stalker. Paprika is about you know, a device that helps you see into people's dreams. And what's the Tokyo Godfathers? You know, three homeless people find a baby on Christmas Eve. This movie, it's a an old actress, retired actress, is getting interviewed about her life story by a documentary crew. But then you say, oh, but it's by Satoshi Kon. So now you know, like, oh, it's going to be about that. Like you could summarize this movie literally about what's actually happening pretty quickly, succinctly, but like you're missing so many more nuanced details of what the movie's actually about. You know, like, oh, it's about, you know, these two guys want to interview this lady, and they tell her
yeah.
that she had this you know, love that she never got into, and she spent her whole life going after him.
Yeah, and it's not enough just to have them sit and interview and just see flashbacks. They have to put the people in interviewing her as well and make it some kind of make it a bit adventurous as well in a way. They give a sense of adventure to the interview, which is probably not something that usually is done, but Con did a very good job kind of meshing that.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
Blue Collar says he's going to send me a picture of the seats. Oh
So yeah, this
yeah,
is where she becomes overwhelmed. I mean, we're nearly at the fucking movie already, and we haven't even gone past the half an hour mark on the stream. It's because once again, Shatoshi Kon, he keeps the pace going. He never makes his movies go too long. You know, an
no,
hour and
yeah.
a half.
This is like this 90 minutes feels like 2 hours, in a good
Yeah.
way, just because there's so much going on. Let's see. Let me share my screen here.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
why I hate reserve seating, because
Stop
you know,
screen first.
yeah, you have to stop your screen now
I
before you
know.
share
Just
mine.
doing
It's
it now.
stupid.
Oh, it
Stream
takes a
right
while
in a
to
sec.
respond sometimes.
Okay, so move that out of the way. This blue collar comment. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, this is an issue. I mean, obviously, yeah, this is pretty good. Yeah, obviously, it's selling well. The issue is you're never going to get a movie selling out ever. Movies never sell out anymore because someone pulls up this screen and they're like, "Oh, well, I'll just go to the next showing because all my favorite seats." It's basically movie seat. Like all these seats up here and over here are totally unnecessary, redundant, because you're never going to sell them because no one would ever, you know, all the seats. You might as well just have, you know, 20 seats just right here and
Yeah.
just
I always love the middle
not even
seats.
try to
Yeah.
sell these seats because people are never, you know, rarely are you going to go in and be like, oh yeah, these two weirdos right here, who the fuck ordered these tickets, you know, at an IMAX screen? These are
Yeah, I'm not a big fan
psychopaths right
of.
here.
I am not a big fan of sitting up real close to the screen. I like
No,
to be in
no
the
one
back in
does.
the middle. I know.
Yeah, that's the beauty of like not know, you know, you get there early, you don't know where you're going to sit, you know, you don't know how many people are going to be in the theater. And that's like the joy of it. And yeah, you might get stuck like over here, but you've already been there, you've already got the tickets, you already sat in line for like half an hour to an hour. So yeah, you'll just sit here, but that's like, you know, you got a chance to buy the tickets like a week or a few days in advance. Like you're not, I hate reserve seating. I think it's stupid.
I know. Same
If you're
thing. Fucking hell. Let
if
me
you're
choose.
going to do reserve seating, then you should only offer these seats right here and just get rid of all these seats. You know, shit,
Yeah,
doesn't
my
matter.
local cinema audience never used to do that, but for the
Oh,
last
Adam's a
10
whole
years,
nother type of psycho. He likes to sit in the back row center. Hell no. Yeah, for me, it's like these seats right here, this row, perfect seats right here, center, you know. But that's what everyone's trying to go for. Everyone's going for like these seats are always the first to go. These two right here, these two columns. It's very stupid.
okay, we'll move on from that because we're nearly done with the movie now. It's but it does. once again, she falls over and he protects her again. He comforts her as well and this is where we start to
So you're
find
not
out
sharing your screen anymore.
Yeah, I'm sharing it now. Just getting it up. Here we go. So yeah, this is where she's rushed to the hospital now. We've had that big earthquake again, and they're in hospital. And yeah, she's on the way out. And once again, as she's dying, we see shots of the studio getting destroyed now because like hair that's going now. That'll be gone very soon.
Yeah.
And even the cameraman's kind of feeling sad about this whole affair as well. He feels bad for her. And yeah, this is where we found out that the scarred soldier tortured the artist and
Killed him.
he did not talk. He took the torture and died, and it's affected him ever since. Though he's had this huge fucking guilt ever since.
Huh.
Yeah, once again, and you don't even need any fucking dialogue for this as well. You see the doctor talk to him, and he just falls to his fucking knees. And
she's old, but yeah, you think
and
she's kind of dead right here, you know?
And I'm not gonna lie, it really fucking really broke my heart as well just seeing it because you kind of been immersed with these two guys, and you know you kind of gotten to know them, and they're very likable characters. And yeah, we see the Lotus as well, the Red Lotus, and he's obviously saying, "Hey, you're gonna be all right. We're gonna be fine." And he does apologize as well that he feels responsible that she got a little bit overwhelmed and it might have caused her to die. She's like, "No, I enjoyed every minute of it, yeah," because these are two people that have shown kindness and made her feel human for probably the first time in a long while. And she gets to die happy a little bit as well, knowing that some people who gave her something that reminded her what gave her life meaning.
Well, yeah, also he gave her back that key. That's kind of like what whole reawakens like her whole, youthful journey to the past. And that's the thing is like she's no longer looking forward to meeting him in this life now. Now she's looking forward to meeting him in the next life. This guy must have been really fucking charismatic and handsome. I don't know. He put quite an impression on her talking about the moon.
Yeah, he definitely, because he had an air of mystery the way he talked as well about his art and how he was going to.
Yeah, and he's like
hair.
He's mysterious and wanted by the government. He's a bad boy. Girls love bad boys.
Yeah. Plus, she was a young kid who was very impressionable, and she's not. There's something about that feeling of naivety as well that you can't. You sort of look on in nostalgia, even though it probably might not have been the nicest time because. Sometimes when you get older, you start to look in the past and with rose-tinted glasses in the way, and I think she kind of was too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like she knows she is, but she doesn't care. It's like it's her. It's her love. She can give it to whoever she wants. She can do whatever. But like I said, it's like she did get married. She didn't have any kids though, right?
No, not like it's established anyway. And yeah, it's kind of like she's going up to heaven now in a way.
In a rocket ship, exactly.
Yeah, and she's willing to go forever and ever because it was the pursuit that she loved more.
Yeah, chasing a goal is always great, whether it be some strange man you met or 10 million subs on YouTube. Like if I die 30 years from now and my stupid channel only has like 1,000 subs, still I wouldn't care. I'd be like, you know what, it was worth it. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that way now. I mean, I don't really care about the fucking clicks anymore because we're seeing a lot of YouTubers just fucking ignoring a lot of the good stuff that's coming out because
I've been saying that for like a year now. Yeah, it's like annoying.
It was really annoying. I mean, it's like the last couple of episodes of Daredevil I actually really liked, and why is Open Bar not talking about this? I mean, we're complaining that we can't have nice things, but when we do, we're not mentioning it. We are letting people know.
I mean, mentioning it briefly, talking about it, because the videos of us shitting on things and giving woke Disney the middle finger, like that's what the people on that watch YouTube want to watch, apparently. But it's just funny because you have like talking about a movie, talking about Millennium actress, like how many of these so-called quote unquote like YouTube film critics haven't even seen this movie, let alone seen it enough times to you really appreciate it for what it is. I mean, you gotta. There's Yeah, there's like a real like it's like that stereotype that the criticism that they lambast against a lot of the YouTubers is that you actually don't want things to get better. You want movies to be terrible forever because that's how you're making money. You'd rather. Do you think like these big YouTubers would rather? I've said this before. Do you think they'd rather us? Like if they did recommend something, do you think they're going to say, "Hey, go spend $20 at the theater and go see this movie"? Give your $20 to the movies, instead of me, instead of just giving your $20 to me to tell you that you shouldn't watch this movie because it's bad. Also, furthermore, how many people like haven't watched good stuff out there just because some big YouTuber told them it was garbage, and then you watch it after the fact and you're like, this was good.
Yeah.
This is why I don't trust, even my own friends. I've had, me and like Vex and some other people and Nadia, we've definitely disagreed. Like, oh, they thought this movie sucked. And I watched it and I'm like, oh, it's great. Or I tell people, watch this movie. I love it. And then, they watch it like, I hated it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I hated Deadpool and Wolverine. That's fine. it has a lot of problems, but I still did it. I still
Yeah,
enjoyed
I'm
it.
even talking about like, I don't even think of, I'm like Martin Scorsese, where it's like, I don't want to talk about goddamn comic book movies anymore. They don't matter. They're stupid. You're like, yeah, Daredevil's the best ever. It's like, okay, even if Daredevil's like the best Marvel thing, it's still like the MCU projects they don't compare to Millennium Actress. Like they're
I'm not saying,
fucking so
yeah, 'cause I'm not
far.
saying Daredevil Born Again is like the best Daredevil series ever, but fucking hell, it's a lot better than what we've been getting recently, and
Right.
it does look like it's
But let's say it
actually
was.
trying to
Let's say
stand
it
well.
was the best MCU series
Yeah,
ever. It's
but
still
it's
going
worth
to
a
be an
compare.
MCU series
Yeah,
compared to actual yeah, I'm sounding like Martin Scorsese, where it's like these MCU movies are just roller coaster rides. They're theme park rides. They're not even movies. And it's like, I see why that got a lot of criticism at the time, but at the point, it's like nowadays, it's like, no, these don't count. Like if some guy is saying, oh, this Millennium Actress movie was boring. Daredevil's fucking awesome. The Penguin is the best thing I've watched last year. It's like, dude, these are morons. These are dummies. These are low IQ brainlets who can't, it's like, it's all Disney princesses and comic book movies. And it's like, watch fucking Millennium Actress and pay attention to it and tell me how it made you feel. I don't want to know about like, it's easy to go through a movie and just be like, okay, this part happens here. And then this is the part where this happens. And this is the part where this happens. It's like, we're hardly talking about that during this like hour and a half conversation. We're talking about like fucking life and death and meaning to life. And, all these bigger things that
and there's
good
probably a
movies are
lot
what
of
should make
other
you
animes
watch.
like this that are coming out this year that hasn't been getting a lot of attention, and I want to
Anime
see
is a
that.
whole, yeah, there's anime is probably like, I love anime movies. I don't watch a lot of anime shows, but there's so many anime movies out there I've never even heard of, and they're good. It's like weird. It's one of those genres that I am lesser knowledgeable in. But yeah, I mean, I love getting pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I watched that Ghost Cat Anzu movie, like as a
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
I
as
need
a,
to
on a
watch that.
whim. I thought it was fucking
Yeah.
great. It was funny as hell and
I
weird.
know, because the last few movies I've been reviewed have been big letdowns, and I'm like, I need to find something good because otherwise it's going to look like I'm looking like I'm shitting on something deliberately. But I will say this though: when the videos are edited of bad movies are much fun to make, but I
But
don't want
yeah,
to just do that. I do want to do something about something positive, and I will talk about something positive if I find something positive.
yeah, like I did watch the Snow White movie, and I did jokingly talk about it on my last stream, but we talked about it for like 20 minutes, I think, and it's mostly
Yeah.
talking about like the whole past 2 years, how everyone's been obsessed with it, and hopefully we can move on. And then sure enough, open bar yesterday, fucking Snow White some more.
I know
How
it's
many
like
more
two
weeks are we going
fucking
to talk about
weeks.
Snow White for?
2 fucking weeks. I mean, listen, we get it. It's shit. It's badly fucking handled. The people who made it are fucking incompetent. Rachel Zegler has fucking torpedoed it to the bottom of the pits with a stupid whatever. Just by opening their fucking mouth. We don't need a
Yeah.
second week to know this.
Yeah, and there's also yeah, like, oh, we're a bunch of, professional YouTube film critics. Have any of them even watched Anora yet? Love it or hate it, doesn't matter. Did you watch the movie that won Best Picture this year? Have you even seen it yet? No, probably
No.
not. It's like, Jesus Christ, what do oh, the Oscars don't matter. It's woke. It's who cares? It's like, yeah, but at the same time, like, you should probably watch all the Best Picture nominees if you're going to call yourself a fucking film critic, you know?
It's becoming
Also,
a
the other
gimmick,
thing I
though,
love,
isn't it?
I
It's
love pop
becoming
culture.
a gimmick because they're
Yeah,
doing just what the fucking woke do when they gaslight. We're just
dude, and
looking
it's
for
bad.
someone that's woke, take the
Yeah.
piss out of it, get the clicks, and that's it. This we
You're
know.
yeah, you're pretending to be a film critic when you're actually just grifting, and actually you're a culture warrior, you know? You're just doing this political pandering, which is fine. But at the same time, like, just if you're going to be political pandering using pop culture as a mechanism, just be honest about what you're doing, you know? That's why that ranting for what's his name? Ranting for
Ranting for vengeance.
yeah, he is the exact epitome of what these YouTube movie reviewer armchair critics have become, you know. And yeah,
Are we
like
in danger of doing that, though? I worry we might be. I mean, I'm trying to be as consistent as I can, but
I'm very
oh,
genuine. I'm very genuine. You know, that's all that matters. It's not a character I'm playing. You know, it's not.
yeah, I do a little bit when on the edited videos, and sometimes on live streams just for laugh. But it's only for laughs, though. Yeah, when I do
Yeah,
give an opinion, it's
it'd be
my
funny,
honest
like
opinion.
the critical drinker. It'd be hilarious if he was legit, like blue collar should be the critical drinker. That should be his name. He's literally drunk on all these streams and videos. You know, critical drinker is like pretending to drink. You know, it's like okay,
I know, and I hate
like
saying this as well because he's been a really fucking nice guy to me, and he gets back to me when I message him on Twitter, and he's helped me out. But drink it, talk about the fucking
talk about the
Daredevil
good
getting
stuff.
better. If you still didn't like it, give us some valid points on why.
No, drinker, don't even talk about Daredevil. Don't talk about Daredevil or Disney anymore. Just talk about actual movies. You know, like, and yeah,
I'll give him credit. Like we'll still come out and give us something like extra shots where he talks about something good that may not have
yeah.
gotten much love. So
Yeah, Mr. E is like, right, bitching about something without proposing a solution or aiding
yeah,
in its correction is just as irresponsible as contributing to it. And I understand, you know, not everyone can make a movie. That's the thing is like Critical Drinkers making a short film and it sucked. And, you know, it shows it's not that it's his fault or anything. It's not that he, you know, is a talentless hack like some people are saying, but it's mostly like it's a lot harder than you think. You know,
yeah. He
oh,
was
well, this
pretty
movie
honest
sucks.
about it, though. He was pretty honest about it.
No, of
He's
course. But
even
that's
he
the other
thought
thing.
the
It's like,
actors weren't the best. Even he
it's
thought the
like,
acting wasn't the
but it's
best.
funny because we're gonna shit on things all the time, but then so here comes something that's actually worthy of being shat on, and we're gonna just say, oh, I saw it, it was not bad. Moving on, you know, because we don't want to insult our friends.
I
That's the
know.
other thing. Also, but for me, what was the big sin is like this what's the word? Like this astroturfing for Ripaverse. It's bad enough that you're going to pretend everything sucks and there's nothing good out there. It's worse when you're going to literally take something that sucks that your friend made and just say, oh, this is actually really good. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it isn't. And it's fine if it isn't, but you can't gaslight me and act like it is good. And you also can't be taken seriously as a actual review critic person in my eyes. If you're going to in one breath say, you know, I saw this, it was shit. But the Ripaverse stuff, you know, the ISOM comics are great. It's like, what? No, they're not. That's, you know, shipping for like what was the other thing? Like some of these
Yeah,
who
you had what was it?
what's Ben
Razor
Shapiro's
and fucking
movies?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
was
Yeah, because
was
that
it
just goes to show that you just because you're conservative doesn't mean you can do better than the
right?
fucking
What's the
war.
website that Ben Shapiro works for?
Daily
the
Wire, wasn't it?
Daily Wire movies, exactly. Like, oh, they're gonna make the Daily Wire movies. You know, Gina Carano was in a couple, and they were
Yeah,
doing like a
Terror on the
Snow
Prairie
White.
was probably the only really fucking good one. The
It's
one that
okay. It's okay, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not. Yeah, they're not great. And like I said, it's hard to make a movie. That's why when you see something like Millennium Actress or Tokyo Godfathers or Perfect Blue, like you have to understand the level of skill and talent and drive. It's hard, grueling work. And you know, you don't just have a director that's willing to do it. You have a director and like hundreds or if not thousands of employees that are all willing to put in that same amount of effort. And when you have these big budget movies where everyone's getting paid pretty well and there's fucking 10,000 crew members and everyone's just kind of cutting corners, everyone's got this kind of modern day laziness, work ethic vibe about it. It shows in the final product. That's why these movies nowadays, they don't have the same, like we're talking about the choreography and Beauty and the Beast, the animated movie. Like we watched the big choreographed dance numbers in the new Snow White. They're shitty. Like there's no there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just a bunch of cluttered people dancing around. Yeah, Adam Gray, you can't
That's the
sell me
thing with
crappy art.
animation, mate. I mentioned this earlier with animation, you can do a lot more that just brings the scene to life. A more exaggerated movements that really help
Yeah.
sell it.
And Mr. E's right. Like also the 80s and 90s had just as many shitty
Oh
movies
yeah,
and messaging. Yeah, exactly.
Hollywood has always been woke. It's always kind of been left, but it's just been a bit more. It's just becoming a bit more incompetently spelled out more.
Yeah, the problem is there's nothing wrong with a movie with quote unquote like woke messaging. The problem is when the messaging is at the forefront and the story takes a back seat. If you tell me a good story, about like To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. That's a fucking awesome movie about drag queens, about being trans or whatever. About that's a great movie. It's hilarious too. Um, I could see them remaking that one and turning it into garbage. Or same with Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. They're just fun. They just want to make a fun movie. I think the thing about these Satoshi Kon animated movies is they're so meticulous. Like everything, it's all animated. It's all made from scratch, and because
Yeah,
of
like
that, everything in it has a purpose. Like
it's found a
everything.
way to make it very bonkers and a bit surreal, but at the same time, kind of not to the point where you think, "Oh, it's way too ridiculous. I can't watch this. It makes no fucking sense." But
Yeah. The Ripper stuff is dire, and I'm not singling them out. These drawings are objectively terrible. Leave Priscilla alone, says Adam
leave
Gray.
her alone. Yeah, Bubba Hotep, yeah, mystery. Yeah, you know what? I might fucking do a stream on that for Halloween because I've not watched that in a long time, and Bruce Campbell always.
Leon says that he really wants to do a We Watch of Bubba Hotep with me, and I'm like, that's great. I'll have to edit it though, but okay, we can do it.
You got Bruce Campbell going. Nobody fucks with the king.
I know.
I don't know about Pink Flamingos.
Pink
saw a trailer for it
Flamingos is the
once.
one where Divine eats dog shit, bro. Get with the programs. John Waters.
Yeah, it was obviously a troll movie, wasn't it? Where they just set out to make the most disgusting.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. It was okay to be super edgy at the time because it'd never been done before. And the same thing with these 80s and 90s, like woke messaging. Like, yeah, you got a movie in the 70s about 60s or 70s where it's like, oh man, we should get along with black people. At the time, that hadn't been done really. You
can sort of make the argument that Star Trek, what the original Star Trek was, kind of a little more, but it was still very balanced, though, wasn't it? In its on its philosophies and the social messaging it was trying to get out at the time.
Yeah, with Star Trek, they don't hammer over the head like, look, there's a black woman on the crew. Look, there's just a black woman on the crew, and it's up to us to put that together ourselves, and it's easy.
Because when they meet this alien that's taken the form of Abe Lincoln, he says the N-word, doesn't he? And she's like, "Oh no, don't apologize for saying the N-word because where we're from now, we've learned not to. In our time, we've learned not to be afraid of words."
Right.
It's all
no, he calls her. He doesn't call her the N-word. He calls her like a colored person or something. He doesn't call her.
He calls her negress.
Yeah. Black in Spanish.
I hope I spaced out enough not to get this fucking channel banned. I don't know.
Negro in Spanish.
Doesn't that kind of mean black anyway, though? The actual word.
Negro. That's why even Schwarzenegger means black plowman, I think is what it means.
I'm a black plowman, brother.
Yeah. Guerrilla filming. This is funny. Mr. E says guerrilla filming at its best. Guerrilla, I think you mean like GUERR, guerrilla, but guerrilla filming, the way you spelled it is a gorilla in the mist. Gorillas in the mist. That's guerrilla film. Were there real gorillas and gorillas in the mist? I know there were.
So you should mention. Funny you should mention Schwarzenegger's name meaning black plowman because when I did my Terminator Zero video and I mentioned Schwarzenegger's name, the subtitles on it Schwarzer N-word. I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
I love the YouTube auto subs. I'm starting to learn.
Oh god, yeah, it's terrible. Yeah,
because every time we watch that you can only get on YouTube. Like some of these movies are only like best available on YouTube with like auto subs. I'm learning, like, for instance, like YouTube misthinks anytime there's drums in the soundtrack, it'll say applause in the subtitles. It'll think the drums are applause for some reason.
Yeah,
Um,
fucking computers are weird. You know that they're very smart, but at the same time they don't register things the way
yeah,
humans
like
do.
that is my big regret that I think we all should have is the fact that Satoshi Kon, he had other movies planned. Like he wanted to make this movie. His next movie was supposed to be Dream Machine,
Yeah, it's very
and
shame it never got made. I'm
yeah,
surprised another director didn't take it up and try to complete it, at least in his memory, anyway.
yeah, pull up Stanley Kubrick, Steven Spielberg, AI.
Yeah, because Stanley Kubrick was going to make it, even though there was this back and forth where he wanted Steven Spielberg to do it because he thought he could bring a more fun sense of it, while
Yeah. He
Spielberg
also
wanted
wanted to
to
use
do
he
it.
also wanted to use a real robot boy as the movie's
Oh,
protagonist.
that'd
Like
be fucking
he
insane.
was he was thinking like the technology could get there where we could actually cast an actual real robot.
Yep, they could probably they would have done it now. They'd have been able to do it now because there's plenty
Uh,
of these humanoid robots in Japan now, and yeah,
oh
they
yeah,
would
that's gonna
use it.
happen soon, I think, where we're gonna have a legit robot actress or actor and they're gonna look and talk like a robot. But
Yeah,
then there'll be a
I
robot
actually saw,
actress.
no, I actually saw a real developer. It was like 10 years ago on some documentary. He was talking about this very human, very kind of nearly realistic robotic human, and he was saying something like calling it ugly as well to get a response. And he was like, "Why would you say something like that?" It was insane. It was insane, and I think 10 years from now, it probably does look a lot more better and less uncanny valley like.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
But yeah,
Um
Millennium actress, fucking hell, it really does deserve more love. It's very charming. It's got a real sense of tragedy, but at the same time, there's a kindness to it as well. There's a real heart to it.
Yeah, I mean, you think you're looking at your life like, oh, it's like one day, this, but it's like you don't realize like you're living your life right now. You have your everything you're doing is your life experience.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, because I kind of came to this conclusion on life itself, where people thinking, "What's the meaning of life?" And I always think, you make your own meaning.
yeah,
Right,
right.
there's not big special meaning out there for you. Not you make that yourself. It's you that makes the decision to forge this path ahead of you.
Yeah, like in your 20s, you think it's like that monologue in Waking Life where that lady's saying, in your 20s, you think that one day you're just gonna become 40 and your life is just gonna gel and cement and it's all going to be the same and you're going to have everything you want and everything you need and that'll be it. But it's like, now I'm almost 40 and it's like, yeah, you're doing crazier shit than ever. And just, you know, like it really is a great lesson about like, living your life in the moment and realizing what you have when you have it. All this stuff is communicated, subtextually in Millennium Actress. It's all it's a very thorough movie, even though it's like a weird, yeah, like it'd be easy to watch it and just kind of dismiss it as a really weird, wacky anime about, an old lady dying.
Yeah, waking life. Yeah, and finding sort of like remembering a time in her life where she really did kind of feel like there was some meaning, and she really did feel alive as well. I
Yeah, well,
think.
like she says in the end, like the pursuit is the meaning,
Yeah,
the journey, it's all about the journey, not the
yeah.
destination.
It's. I think the sitcom Only Fools and Horses did the same thing, because it's basically about two brothers and their older relative trying to scrimp and save, do these dodgy deals on the supermarket with stolen goods to become millionaires. They're always looking for schemes that will make them millionaires, and they
What's it
always
come?
go wrong. Only fools and horses.
Oh, okay.
They always have these schemes that where one day they'll be billionaires, millionaires, and it always goes wrong, like a true comedy should. But
Yeah, imagine if they
yeah, and in
imagine
the
if they
final,
do
and
a scheme.
let me finish, because in the final episode they finally do become millionaires.
Right. There
We're
you go.
very and the main character Del Boy, he wants to get back into his old work again because it's the only time he felt alive. He's living the high life now and he's bored. He's got a
Right.
mansion. He doesn't have that same meaning he used to have.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's also good to not like you get your $1 million So now the pursuit of $1 million is no longer the journey, and you don't need to revert back to that same, like, come up with a new dream. You know what I mean? Now you have $1 million. Like, what are you going to do with your millions of dollars? You know, like, what's the next thing on the checklist of the big bucket list of things to do, you know?
Yeah.
And it's good to have semi unrealistic goals, you know, big, like short-term goals, not necessarily, but like, yeah, big long-term goals down the end, like something really hard to attain, and you might not get it. You probably won't get it, but it's like, it's good to have that drive, you know, that reason to
Yeah.
get up in the
I think
morning.
Up had the I think Disney Pixar's Up had the same sentimentality where his one ambition is to live on top of that mountain in those tropical forests, but have this adventure with his wife. But then he looks in the diary and it says, and it's the adventure was their relationship together, the time they spent together before she
Exactly.
died.
Exactly. Yeah, and you know, like once what's his name? Carl. He gets the balloons, he goes up to the mountain, you know, it's like you finally get your dream, and it's like you look around and you're like, is it as good as you thought it would be? Probably not, you know.
No, because you were already living your dream.
Yeah. Jamalama, this or Friday Night Tights. Well, this is about to wrap up, so you probably watch both.
No, because yeah, when it's a very quick stream as well. I'm surprised we got through. But I thought that we were going to be dissecting this more. But I think, like with the other Shatoshi Cons, you could watch this a few times and analyze it to death and still not scrape the surface.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where you could do just like open free form conversation about this movie and go on for a while, not even needing to break it down scene by scene. You could just talk about the bigger picture stuff. It's very, very good movie. This is like one of those movies where I wouldn't mind revisiting a year or two from now and talking about it again.
Yeah, I think about it could be good as well. Just to see if our takes have changed after watching it, because I have a feeling that we will. Because like if you get a film that's good enough, you will notice new things you never saw before. Especially as you get older, it's like,
Yeah.
and I love those kind of layers. But yeah, I think that's, you know what, I never asked first time you came by watching it, which is always the thing I do. I always, before I head into these movies, I always ask, when was the first time you came to knowledge of it? When the first time you saw it? Blah blah blah. So yeah, yes.
Like I said,
Little
I
legs to
did
me.
kind of already say this, but like, yeah, well, this is one of those movies that I burned it on a DVD because I loved Perfect Blue, and this is like after I think I watched Perfect Blue and Paprika, and I realized like, oh, he had two other movies, you know. But I remember I downloaded this one, I burned it on a disc, and it took me a while to actually watch it all the way through because like I didn't try to watch it for a while, and it's one of those things where like you try watching it the first time and you're like, maybe I'll save this for another day. This seems like a little more complicated than I thought it was going to be. And then also, like, I remember trying to watch it and I fell asleep through it a couple times. And it's just one of those movies where it was just kind of like a joke, like, oh, I'm never going to finish this. And then eventually you did. And that was probably like a year or two after I had the movie on a DVD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, obviously, the last week was on the first time I saw it, because I know you mentioned it a few times before, and I was already kind of sold on Shatoshi Kon. You know, sometimes he could be a bit bonkers, but at the same time, he could be very dark. But at the same time, there was also this kind of humanity to his movies that he.
Yeah, Jamalama's right. 4 hours and some change until the real Friday night starts, which is
Getting that
B-roll
bit.
stage, B-sides.
Yeah, Mr. E was always going to work for Funimation. Let's have a look. Went to work for Funimation because they were rumored to open a studio back in early 2000,
Nice.
and I think Atom Gray was almost got a job on Scanner Darkly. That's another underrated one I need to watch, and I've only watched it once. I've only
Nice.
watched that movie once, so I need to check it out again. I
No,
remember
that's a good
liking
one.
it. Waking Life is really good. I'm just looking it up as well. Richard
Yeah,
Linklater.
same guy
So,
who did Scanner Darkly. It's the same rotoscope stuff. But
he's a
it's
good
way
director.
more way more like trippy and wild looking. But yeah, Waking Life is kind of like My Dinner with Andre. It's like a guy kind of just going scene by scene, and it's just like a lot of philosophical musings and conversations, kind of loosely put together as a plot. But it does get cool. It's one of those movies where you're like watching it and you're like, okay, and then eventually like 2/3 of the way in, there seems to be kind of a structure forming, and you're like, oh, I see where this is going, and it gets really wild.
Yeah. So I think we will wrap this up because we've made most of our points anyway, and there probably is more to be made, but I can't think of anything at the moment. Can you, Stupenzo?
No, I mean, yeah, and also I got a big sandwich waiting for me, and I'm over here at the
So I
hospital
won't
now.
keep you anyway. But so yeah, thanks for joining me, Stupenzo. I love. Sometimes it's good to have a nice little easy stream where there's not too many people, and it's just sometimes just something a bit one-on-one, nice and easy for now. And probably will do another big stream soon again.
Right.
So yeah, cool. Thank you for joining us, Mr. E, Jamalama, Blue Collar, Atom Grey, and who else? Who am I missing? Come on, where are you?
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So yeah, whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for watching, and do remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and remember to ring that bell in order to be notified. And if you wish to further support this channel, links are in the description below. And if you haven't already, please share Stupenzo's channel and see if we can get him up to 1,000 subs before the end of the year. But right now, that's us done for tonight, and we are off to the pub. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, you.
Can I have spuds, please?
Spuds! Good choice. George's song. Listen very carefully. The question comes straight after.
Baked potato changed my life. Baked potato showed me the way. If you want to know what is wrong from right, you must listen to what potatoes say.
Do be good, don't be bad.
Baked potato.
Don't be happy, don't be sad.
Thank you, baked potato. And if you want to have a better day, you must listen to what the baked potatoes say.
Do be early, don't be late.
Thank you, baked potato.
Always eat what's on your plate.
Thank you, baked potato. And if you want to have a better day, you must listen to what the baked